Isn't anyone trying to find me? Won't somebody come take me home? Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe DEFF DEFF DACAT OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Gonna take a swig of protein here. Got to try to get the protein in for the day. What did I title this? Can VeVe cash in on rising NFTs? Why do I feel like I have a hair in my mouth? I did have a hair in my mouth. Can VeVe cash in on rising NFTs? Of course. What is Chavez going on about? It was earlier today that I saw a couple of things, and I'm looking for it right now to show you guys. It was, oh my gosh, there's so many screenshots. Over the last 7 days, Bored Ape Yacht Club, the NFTs are up like 2%, not really a huge amount. But Lil Pudgies and Pudgy Penguins are both up 6.2 and 6.4% respectively. Not bad. Mutant Apes up 10%. So it's like, okay, we got some stuff cooking here. But what about the last 24 hours? Let's go to OpenSea. Let's take a look at, I guess VeFriends is one of the first things we're taking a look at. And that has a 0% difference in the 1 day. It's at 1.1497, pretty much 1.5 ETH. But let's take a look at Moonbirds. Actually down 2% on the day, but it is up on the week over 2 ETH for the floor. That little guy is cool. I like that little guy, little green eyes, got a little, I don't like that guy. I'd like a wannabe Luke Danes over there. This almost looks like a Sergeant Slaughter type of WWE thing. Maybe he's a DJ that likes wubs. He looks like a DJ. Anyway, that's Moonbirds. Let's do Milady Makers, see what they're at. They're down 3% on the day. So I guess there's some of these NFTs that are down on the day, but up on the week. But over 18 ETH in volume over the last 24 hours. So we've got about 16 of these that have sold. I don't have any Milady Makers. They seem cool. Not my scene. But these are one of the things that make me kind of smile when I see the NFT market generally just going up, even if it's not a bunch of VeVe NFTs. Although we do have sales. I think that's I forget what I put as a thumbnail. It was either the Miles Morales one or it was the ETH NFTs out there. But we did have a Miles Morales sell today for about 40 million OMI, which was about $7.1 thousand. And it's like, okay, that's really cool. Secret Rare Miles Morales. Now you could make the argument, well, why did the person sell? Maybe they sold because they're done with VeVe. Maybe they sold because they don't believe in the collectibles, but maybe they believe in the token. Either or. I don't think you actually have a Miles Morales Secret Rare unless you're going to believe in this stuff long term. And then selling it for OMI, OMI's pretty down. What are we at today? Let's take a look. See, the OMI is actually up 2.5% to 000178, $48 million market cap. Let's take a look at what the volume was on a Comey here today. Actually, on CoinMarketCap, it's up 3%. So we've had these random spikes, 1.3 million in volume. So there's not really a ton of volume, but we had a random spike today, went up to 001860. Immediate dump right back down, kind of so that, and we had the same thing the other day. We pumped to 000193 something. Immediate dump back down, and but again, like the fact that they're still happening though is like, you see it. And now, granted, this is like 36 hours apart. What's up, Mr. Williams? Saying, let's go, let's get this read. So again, those were about 36 hours apart. But I can't help but think that they have to come from somewhere, obviously. But again, there's always sellers to match that. When does that take hold? I feel like this fight's been going on for a long time. Do they go in and do they say, okay, yeah, we're gonna take control now, and the buyers just buy, or is it sellers be like, hey, the sellers have to run out at some point. Now it's possible that when OMI went down to 0011 like months ago, that you still have some people that bought it there. And yeah, you might have that 50% gain that they're taking right now, and that's fine. They might be putting into. I know some people were selling DEVVE for DEFINITY. I don't know if people are selling OMI for it, but I do know a lot of DEFINITY is getting acquired. Is that because of the Midnight Foundation? Although they haven't yet to actually release that news. The Midnight Foundation on their website actually hasn't released it. Like they gone and like requoted it over on LinkedIn. They requoted, I think, Liquidity Finder, which had the Bloomsbury Money news, which obviously they're using the DEFINITY token as their main utility token. But you know, we've seen that go up 50% as well over the last couple weeks. It might just even be the last like 5 or 6 days. Bitcoin back down to 95, might actually be 94 or something. Let's take a look, see what that's doing here. 94.9. We are down about 0.5% on the day, not too bad. We're still at 5% on the week and up 11% on the month. But as of today, you know, where does it go? I think you had Jim Cramer saying that markets were going to open up very, very low on Monday, which is honestly like that's the best that's like the best piece of news you could get, because nobody really takes them seriously. Where do we have that? I could have sworn I had that on earlier today, but maybe I don't. Maybe it wasn't. Oh well, sorry, Jim Cramer. I guess you were not important enough to screenshot, which is fine. There was other news today that we will try to get to. There's just a lot of we have a lot of other news to get to beforehand. Anyway, let's go back to OMI real quick. Actually, let's go to Ethereum and then we'll get back to OMI. ETH is up 0.25% on the day, so pretty negligible at $3,300 right now. It was at 33.26, at 32.99 now. Again, I think it's fairly negligible. Up 7% on the week, up 16% on the month. So if you bought it, you know, in like 24, 25, 2,800 range a month ago, you're doing okay. But getting back to OMI, let's see where this volume is coming from. It's not a lot of volume. It is 1.3 million in volume, and I'm going to guess Deepcoin has 29% of that. The next person that has the biggest one is BingX, is 28%. So about almost 60% is really just from 2 exchanges. I don't know how big BingX is. Miss Gecko, thank you for recoding the stream. I'm going to give you some love, some smiley faces. I was in a space with her before. I forget what they were talking about, but it was cool. I liked it. Very interesting. Oh, shit. Give me 1 sec. Okay, don't need to know. Let's do, all right, we were talking about DEFINITY before, so this is a big one. That is up about 5% on the day. We're at 5.5%. We're at 1.85 cents. We were up to 197 earlier today. We did have some spells. If you take a look at what happened on the 15th, you wicked up to 2.1. We did get bought down, and then a slow, but it was still in ascending price. And we have again, that's over the last day or so, because we're at 17. Oh, more than halfway through the month. I did get updated on what DMA Link was doing, their P&L over the last couple of weeks. First half of the month was very good. And usually it's the last like week that usually people try to get stuff in for the end of the month. So I think they're starting off pretty strong, in my opinion. I think they only get stronger, just again because when I don't know if they're already doing what they're doing with Bloomsbury. That's what Midnight Foundation is doing. So what DMA Link is doing and Bloomsbury is doing are technically 2 separate things. Ideally, that would be vertically integrated at some point, but that gets hard. I guess if they wanted to try to absorb, I don't think DMA Link has any debt though, because a lot of times if you wanna try to absorb a company, you would like buy the debt, or you can go in and just buy shares of the company. But again, they're not a public company. not like it's like Tesla, and not that you could buy Tesla anyway, but let's say like Ryanair, like Elon Musk wants to buy like Ryanair. Okay, well, how does he do that? You go and buy enough shares of the company where you have 51%, you buy a bunch of debt, or you buy like 10 or like 30%, whatever, and then you just get a bunch of board seats and you get the rest of the board to vote the way that you want. So in an ideal world, I would like Manu to maybe raise some money at Bloomsbury, because again, they already have Midnight as a big, like that's a big name. Now it's possible that you get other people or other companies that can do more than the Midnight Foundation with Charles Hoskinson, but maybe the name just isn't as big, but they're just doing lots of volume. So it's possible you get that, but generally the name means probably more than what they're doing. Like again, they're probably doing a lot, because again, it's a big foundation, that's a big name behind it. So they're probably doing a lot of money, probably doing a lot of business together. And even though the articles never said it, it does read like it's an exclusive partnership. I could be dead wrong on that. I don't know, but that reads like it's an exclusive partnership. And again, I don't know what other ones there are there that give us an idea of how much they're doing, what's separate. But again, ideally you'd want to raise money with Bloomsbury, buy DMA Link probably at a not that big of a price, because you want to have some upside for them. I mean, they're worth a ton. I don't know what happens with it. But that's what you would want, because then both companies would be vertically integrated underneath, Manu's control over there. That would be incredible if they got that to happen. It's possible. It's also possible some other company comes in and just offers them an insane amount of money, and Manu might be like, "Ooh, okay, I'm not going to say no to that." Roy G 9892 saying Midnight might not say anything, comma, they don't want any of their people selling Midnight and buying Definity. That's possible as well. Again, they went and they, on their LinkedIn, they reshared that article that I think it was Liquidity Finder, which is like, they could have done like Yahoo News. They could have done like a bigger name than like Liquidity Finder, but I'm not familiar with it, so it might be a good place to go, which they did. So yeah, you're right. They might not do that. I don't know why anyone would really sell, because again, you have like $1 billion valuation for Midnight. That's the market cap, and I mean, I guess if I was given Midnight for free, because if you were given Midnight or you bought it because it's tied to Cardano, and the founder's a genius, and they're doing real stuff. And how many of those people, it's like, okay, Definity, well, what's Definity? Like, I don't think they would just sell their tokens right away. I think after they looked into what they're doing, they watch my videos, they watch Believes, they watch Crypto Rain, they might be like, oh, okay, yeah, this, I would put extra money into it. But yeah, to take something that the founders like give you like kind of for free, and then you sell that, I don't know, maybe they would. Maybe I don't think that would be a worry for them though. But either way, yeah, you're right. That is an option we should look at, and maybe that's why. I mean, I think people will find this anyway. What do we have on volume here? 7,500 in volume, $2.8 million market cap. This is insanely low. And again, they're crushing it. So let's do. My back. All right, let's do FIAS here. FIAS at a $1.9 million market cap, up 2% on the day, $8,100 in volume. This was up to, I think, like 2.8 million like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, actually it spiked up to like 2 cents. It's only 1.5 cents. Yeah, so it's like 25% off of its high on like the 5th. I don't know where this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, not too much to report there. Tom is really bullish on it. He said some stuff. Well, I have some screenshots. I'll show you guys. DEVVE, take a look at that. Down another 3% on the day, under 15 cents now. So this, oh shit, this actually went to 14.59. It's 14.87. So it did hit that like a couple of times. You just had just a bunch of selling pressure, but a $13 million market cap. Yeah, this could go a bit lower. 13 cent, like maybe like 12 cents was the low in September of 24. Then it shot up to $1.80. And then clearly it's down here now. I would totally get more if I'm able to sell some shares and other things. You know, we'll see. We shall see. I'll keep you posted. Obviously, I expect this to be at least like a 20x from here. Let's round it up to 15 cents. 20x from here is $3. When that announcement comes out, I fully expect that. Like I fully expect that when the announcement comes out. But that might not happen for several months. Like you could possibly get it, I think, in April, maybe even sooner. But you need the Clarity Act passed. You need the virtual asset service provider. You need a bunch of these licenses, and it's just, you know, you don't know when that's going to happen. Trump said that they might just pass it without the support of Brian Armstrong. You know, apparently he pulled support without really talking to Trump first. Trump didn't like that. Mike Jones says DEVVE's going to 8 cents. It might. If it does, we got a great. I'll sell some stuff to get more. So I put 70-ish K into it. It's literally worth nothing now. It's not worth nothing, but it's worth less than half of that. I would probably put in another 30 because I don't like, again, I don't want to make the same, I don't want to say mistake as I did with OMI, where I mean OMI I put in like 650,000, like that was insane. And again, like worth nothing. So like to put in 6 figures into something, I mean, I could do it. Like I would do that. Maybe I guess I just wouldn't put multiple 6 figures in. Like if I had like $10 million, like okay, that's fine. But I don't have 10 million yet. Quite a bit less than that, and most of it's illiquid. It's just in shares in other companies, so I just don't have access to it. I could get it, but I'd have to sell it at like a 50% discount. I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, I mean, if it goes to 8 cents, well, let's say 7.5, you'd be at a $6.5 million market cap. I don't think it goes there. But let's say, I mean, this at single digits is kind of hard to believe that but again, it's crypto, so anything's possible. Again, I have no problem going in and getting a butt ton more. Honestly, even at these prices, I have no problem buying here, even though it could go. Again, single digit cents is very, very low. Like again, you'd have like a $6 million mark. That just seems very not reasonable. But crypto isn't reasonable. It's generally either undervalued or overvalued. So anything's possible. I don't think it gets there, but again, you're not talking about a lot of like sophisticated investors that go in and you know, are hodling long term. I mean, you have those that are here, but a lot of these investors are, let's face it, like they're new. They don't know how to hodl. Most people in crypto have not been successful elsewhere yet. Some of them have, but again, that's why you see things that are so undervalued. People get in on what is likely good fundamentals for something, but because if it's a good company, it's not going to act like a meme coin. It's not going to act like a, you know, go stonks right away, especially in this big bear market we've been in for several years for alts. And a lot of people just can't hang. So they dump it past to the point where it shouldn't be. And that's just a self-cascading thing. I mean, it's one thing to try to, not that I try to like placate for anyone that is crazy about in the sellers, but I just try to be the voice of reason, where again, I don't know what statistical evidence you would have for that, or you're just throwing out a number. But even if you are just throwing out a number, yeah, anything's possible. Mr. MC1s, hi Randy, and the U0026 fam. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to take offense. But no, I jest. Okay, let's do that was the DEVVE. Let's do DACAT here real quick. Where are we at? Hey, DACAT's up 1% on the day, $1.2 million market cap. What I like about DACAT over literally any other token that I just mentioned is the fact that it's got a $344,000 in liquidity. 172 of that is in DACAT, but 173,000 is in Ethereum. That is locked for 997 years, so it's pretty much locked forever. And yeah, in ETH, Whale would be more comfortable buying DACAT than they would of any other token that I just mentioned because of the fact that we have a lot more liquidity. And again, it's impossible to rug. So I really, really like that fact. What's up here? Mr. MC wants to hi all. Great to have Ron in Spaces today. And the giveaways are I heard Ron English had a I heard everyone had a blast there. I saw a couple of the photos and everything. And then yeah, the giveaways apparently were pretty sweet. She's bittersweet, she knocks me off my feet. Okay. Let's see what we can do over here. 224. Okay, sorry. So DACAT, $62 in volume, so pretty much nothing. But I was in a small meeting today, and one of the guys was talking about. We talked a little bit about VeVe and just the stuff that he should get. And again, I was just talking to him about this. Anything can go to zero, little or no notice, obviously, but. As far as the NFTs, I don't think the Miles Morales sale had happened yet at that point, so I didn't go over that. Although I did mention him, but I was like, listen, in the last bull market, everyone kind of coveted the secret rare, but the secret rare and it does, you pick your poison, whether it was Storm, Deadpool, Mr. Fantastic, it doesn't matter. The secret rare went up a certain multiple, but its common counterpart went up an even higher multiple. So it's like, listen, a lot of people are focused on like IP and comics now. Same thing. The secret rares, yeah, they're going to be highly coveted, and you might get a 5x return on them. But I think the common version of those is going to be much more liquid, and it's going to be seen as like the poor man's version of like secret rare, and you're just going to get a lot more want for that. Because not everyone can afford 10K for a collectible, but they can probably afford a couple $100 or a couple $1,000. So I think the commons of everything are probably the move. It is not something where if you have no time, like if you have like no time during the day, then just yeah, sure, secret rare. But if you have a little bit of time, might not be a bad idea to buy up a bunch of the commons of certain things. Again, just an idea. But I like ask Sleeping Comics if he'd rather get $5,000 worth of a secret rare or $5,000 worth of a common at a certain price. I guarantee you he says common. Like ask him. Ben Cruz says first like. I don't know. I don't think so. But let's check. Let's check it out. Let's go to the YouTube. What do we got here? About 9, but if everyone can smash that like button, it's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon started super thanks button down below. My man. That was great. We love that. All right, so we talked a little bit of crypto here. Let's go over what was the last thing I had. Oh, do we have any articles to go over? Because we might. Nope. Precocious. Okay, very good. When I was a young boy, my father took me into. Okay, we're good. There's no articles. In which case, we will have to talk about what's today? Saturday? We do Thursday? Oh, I don't know. I think we do. Okay. BlackRock's Larry Fink just said that there's a strong case for rate cuts if you believe in AI. I do. There is news coming out that's saying that AI is actually getting brain rot. So for those of you that don't know, dead internet theory is that most of the internet, like 51, 55%, but still technically most of the internet is nothing but bots. Yeah, I believe that. What AI is, and now with a bunch of AI just asking each other prompts and questions and all that, yes, you're getting a lot more of that, so that's going to get worse. But because AI takes from the internet and that's what it kind of uses to study and answer, it's getting a lot of brain rot and it's getting worse and worse answers. So that is a problem, and I don't think anyone knows how to fix it just yet. Ironman616 reposting the stream, my man, appreciate it, sir. But yeah, I think AI is probably the best way to help humanity right now. CME Group to launch Cardano and Chainlink futures. Sweet. Jobless claims, 198,000 were expected. It was 215. Now, how many of these jobless claims? Like again, the unemployment thing is always out of whack. It usually doesn't count. Like service, it counts service industry jobs, and it's like, okay, do people want to be in that industry? Sometimes it includes part-time. It doesn't include the people that gave up looking for work. But I'll take it, right? Ethereum treasury company Bitmine invests $200 million in Mr. Beast Industries. That's awesome. Love that. Mr. Beast is so cool. There was I forget the dude's name. It was a video I saw the other day that he was invited to one of Mr. Beast's things. He got to see a bunch of the new episodes of season 2 of his Beast Wars, not Beast Wars. That was an old show. But whatever the Beast games, whatever they were. I said it was cool. He said Jimmy was just a nice guy, like just an actual like a fun dude. Like he was having fun, and he knew who some of these YouTubers were. He flew them out there, and just to get their opinions on certain things. And again, he just seems like an awesome dude. Love him, and for what he's doing, I hope his success continues, and maybe one day I can have like 200 million. I assume the Beast Industries is worth multiple billions. Let's say it's just 2 billion. They buy 10%, and he gets just crazy infusion in cash, which is nuts. SEC ends investigation on Zcash Foundation. Coinbase cannot support the crypto bill in its current form. CME Group to expand crypto derivative suite for launch of Cardano, Chainlink, and Stellar futures. And State Street is joining Crypto Rush with digital asset rollout. Galaxia has 34,000 followers over on X. And this guy named James, or Mr. Galaxia, so he founded Galaxia. They started to see digital items feature as well as physical. Gamification is trading economy. So that is he's kind of having his own site. But again, he's starting to see digital items feature as well as physical. So I think he's not the only one that sees a digital future, or we're not the only ones that see a digital future. Obviously, other platforms are as well. Russell 2000 hit a new all-time high after the US Open. The index is up 7% in the first 15 days of 2026 and adding nearly 220 billion in market value. This shows a clear rotation of capital toward higher risk assets, and hopefully we get that rolling into crypto soon. One day this year. US strike on Iran reportedly called off at last minute. Trump apparently almost greenlit a strike on Iran late Wednesday night, and then pulled the plug minutes before execution. Iranian airspace had reopened and forces scrambled around from Al Udeid were told to stand down. Sources say that Trump halted it because advisors couldn't promise a decisive regime toppling blow and warned Iran could hit back hard, and the US might not have enough regional assets ready to cope. Right now, tensions are still high, but the war did not start. Iran remains on the brink, not over it. I'm level 80 on the VeVe app. I repeat, I'm level 80. Infofi is changing, and it's time to sunset snaps, says Cookie DAO. This is our official announcement saying Infofi is changing, and it's time to sunset snaps. We're making the difficult choice to close the snaps platform and allow creator campaigns. This is a tough and abrupt decision, but necessary to preserve the integrity of Cookie's data layer and products. After discussions with the X team about their API and X use policies, we've decided to shut down snaps and all active campaigns, effective immediately. As of now, we're in active talks with X to determine whether snaps could continue to operate in a new form. We always believe that we were compliant with X rules and policies. Given what we're at now, Infofi is likely to undergo a significant shift. We'll await X's confirmation and guidelines on whether creator campaigns like Snaps can function in any future form. We use official data sources for Snaps leaderboards, and we remain Twitter Enterprise's API client. Therefore, it's our core priority to remain compliant with X policies. We're also working directly with every project that has a live Snaps campaign. Some situations are complicated, campaigns are paid for, and rewards are promised. We don't have all the answers yet, but we're committed to fair outcomes and will communicate directly with each project. Made a snapshot of all active campaigns. We'll provide an update for a creator soon. All remaining cookie products remain unaffected, and we remain a data project at our core. Cookie 3 analytics and KOL intelligence provides over 200 data to over 200 business clients. There are new things on the horizon for Cookie.fun as well. For the past 6 months, we've been building Cookie Pro real-time market intelligence for crypto, launching in Q1. We've been affected by the Snaps closure. You have every right to be frustrated. Cookie has also been significantly affected by this, and we must make many difficult internal decisions in the coming days, telling you what happened and what we're doing about it. We will keep our transparency and keep you updated on our roadmap and next steps. Cookie team. Who dis? Congratulations, level 80. Thank you. Far too kind. I enjoy being level 80. It's good. Okay, now obviously level 69 was the best. I'll comment nice down below the 69. Number of unique addresses holding stable coins has reached over 200 million, setting a new record level. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says it's clear that American voters want crypto. Agreed. OMI. So the number of failed cryptocurrencies by year. These are cryptocurrencies that were created and then went to zero, whether it be rugs or legit projects. 2021, over 2,500 tokens failed. 2022, 213,000 tokens had failed. 2023, 245,000 tokens had failed. Oh, all right, it's petering off. 2024, almost 1.4 million tokens had failed. Jesus. 2025, 11.5 million tokens had failed. Oh my God. DEVVE, OMI, DEFINITY, DECAT, Theos were not failing. So only DEFINITY and OMI had been around since 2021. DECAT and DEVVE kind of snuck in there recently, but yeah. And then Theos even more recently. But yeah, I don't cover poop. I only cover the stuff that I believe has long-term value. And it's just stuff that I go in and buy for myself. President Trump to cut tariffs on Taiwan to 15%. Very nice. And from that, Taiwan commits $500 billion to support U.S. semiconductor operations. Like, God damn, that is... Trump keeps making these deals. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Greenland. You were to ask me last year, I'd be like, okay, he could say he wants it. I don't see any way he gets it. But now I think he can get it. I think Greenland can become part of America. What are the consequences of that? I don't know. Right now, there's probably going to be a lot of turmoil. The EU said they're going to stop the deal. Trump is threatening tariffs on like 8 different countries, and they're going to like double if there's no deal where Greenland comes to the US by June 1st. That is bananas. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'd rather us have Greenland than like Russia or China. You know, we'll take a look. See. That's. Sorry, keep getting some screenshots here. Robinhood and Coinbase stocks fall 7.8 and 6.5% after Congress delays crypto market structure legislation. This was on January 15th. VeVe Magic posts VeVe Creative Content Competition. This month, please use Marvel Collectibles for your AR showroom or VeVeverse creation. To enter, submit your creation in the Disney channel of the VeVe official Discord. Entries close January 23rd at 3 a.m. Okay. January 23rd at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Winner will receive a random digital collectible. There's got to be a reason why they still use Discord over there. It might look good for certain metrics, whether to get licensors or maybe on certain exchanges. I don't like playing that game because I just don't like Discord. Everything's on X. Discord can be used really, for good community building and stuff like that. But really, everything's on X. So I assume they're doing this on Discord just because they have. It might look good to other people. But yeah, this is a cool competition. You could win a random digital collectible, and it could be something that you already have. It could be something that like you already took a picture of a Marvel collectible, and then go and do that. Congrats on level 80, Senor Chavez. Why, thank you, Incorrigible Goat Slayer. Gracias, gracias. Arizona's Bitcoin bill will allow the state to accept Bitcoin as payment, and it passes its second reading. Huge for adoption. That's hysterical. Yeah, Mr. Beast X Bitmine. Now Ethereum has no choice but to hit 10K, says Milk Road, because investing in Mr. Beast, which is great. Oh, 2016. Oh, my friends. There's me. There's me and my friend. Me and my other friend. Okay, I can't go through all these pictures. Goldman Sachs says it's spending a lot of time on crypto tokenization and stablecoins. Yes, it is. It's hysterical. Planet Vampire says, my dad stopped smoking weed in Nam after he was singing along with the radio that wasn't turned on. His friend turned the radio on and he was in sync with it. That is insane. God, man, my friends look great. Interactive Brokers unlocks 24/7 funding with USDC and plans to roll out Ripple and PayPal stablecoins next week. South Korea approves tokenized securities framework in key legislative hearing, and Google Play to ban overseas crypto exchanges from South Korea store. That's interesting. January 15th, there were over 1 million OMI burned. Shout out to Stacker for doing that. BlackRock has bought $319.7 million worth of Bitcoin and $149.1 million worth of Ethereum as of 15 January, 11:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That next morning on the 16th, Senate Democrats to resume talks with crypto industry representatives to push for a resolution on Bitcoin and crypto market structure. Also, reminder that 2.75 billion in Bitcoin Ethereum options were set to expire on the 16th. That was yesterday, so whatever volatility you saw, it was likely because of that. Pokemon is bringing back Fat Pikachu, and I could not be happier. That's the design as a plushie to mark the franchise's 30th anniversary. I can't wait. Oh my God. One of my favorite things. Good morning, good morning. All right, now Russia is gearing up in the Arctic over Greenland because apparently the Greenland drama wasn't chaotic enough. Now Russia is building up their military in the Arctic and framing it as defense. Moscow says it's all about security, but let's be real. They're watching the US, Denmark, and NATO dance around Greenland and saying, yeah, we want it too. Because the Arctic has oil, military routes, and serious global power games. Also, a lot of shipping routes. It seems like now everyone's showing up with weapons. It's insane. DEVVE community says this is part of the retail often misses. DEVVE is not about wallet freedom. It's about bypassing institutions. Or it's not about bypassing institutions, and it's also not about removing intermediaries overnight. It is about providing deterministic closure in environments where no single intermediary can be trusted to be the final arbiter. As market fragments cross jurisdiction and systems, that neutral settlement layer becomes necessary, not ideological. Devise introduces the concept of liquidity caches. These are not speculative pools or yield products. They're consent-based mechanisms that allow assets to remain available for settlement across multiple transactions without compromising ownership, custody, or compliance. Think of them as infrastructure-level buffers that smooth settlement without hiding risk. This approach increases throughput while preserving control. It's born by design, and boring infrastructure is usually the most important kind. Agreed. The U.S. state of West Virginia proposes a bill to allocate 10% of state funds to Bitcoin. That is massive. I think every state will do that at some point. They should, in my opinion. Oh God, that's so good. Let's screenshot that. Warning. President Trump threatens tariffs on countries that oppose U.S. effort to acquire Greenland. Of course he does. Belarus authorizes crypto banks combining token operations with traditional banking, and the vast majority of trade volume in Korea is concentrated on Upbit, with occurring spikes far exceeding Bitthumb, particularly during periods of macroeconomic shock. U.S. inflation index is dropping hard. More rate cuts should be coming in 2026, says Ash Crypto Real. I am going to forever regret not being able to get this. So there's Pikachu trophy cards. There's 3 of them. First place, good. Second place, great. Third place, a little fat chunk Pikachu, and his little like he's so happy just to have been there. 100 grand, and I asked the guy if he would take crypto because I was about to get it, and he said no. It wasn't graded as a like a 9 point whatever or like an 8 point whatever. It was graded as authentic, and the front of the card looks great, but it does have a illustrator on it. It was signed and sketched by Arita. This, oh my god, yeah, I should have gotten this. I fudged up. Like they're like Arita signs anything, but I don't know if there's any other trophy cards that he's signed. Again, Arita's a beast, but he literally signs his name to anything. Ken Sugimori, much different story. But this, oh god, that just put such a smile on my face when I saw it. Like this is one of my goals, like collecting goals to get, and just with Arita's signature on it and a sketch, like, oh my good golly gosh. Oh, that is anyway. In the Devi official group, Night Shift says, I can only see net positives with the Clarity Act. Sure, the RWA sector takes a hit, but the aspect of the Dev exchange is still a while off maturing anyway. Tom Dev, how well do you think this bad bill aligns with the Dev exchange? Interested to hear your thoughts on the subject. What aspects are you for and against? Tom says, I thought about this. I've more thought about it as whatever it is, and we'll just design around what they define as needed. So he doesn't seem concerned. The ebb and flow of funding is par for the course. I've been doing this for a long time. Although there are no guarantees, I'm confident on bringing additional funding. Overall, I'm confident on our position too. Timing feels reasonable with the ways TradFi is moving into DeFi. I've had delays in projects in my career where the timing is better after some delay. One can be too early with leading edge tech. That is a real risk. Feels a bit meant to be in many ways, particularly with the impact that AI can have on where we're going. AI is literally helping in everything. Tom says, the goal is to have core systems arches in place. I built AI chat and multi-AI chat. I built several site arches, like Learn About Fias. I was going to start the arch builder itself yesterday, but I decided I should do some cleanup first, so I'm in the process of that now to prepare for the other devs. The new system level arches I'm envisioning are email, image creation, chat, DevX interactions, the human task system, bookkeeping, etc. Some of the first arches I will create with the arch creator are the patent writer, podcast organizers, etc. Once I have the base arch creator in place, I can start bringing people from here into the closed beta. Somebody says, this seems great. Admire the hustle. But curious, do you have any plans to list Fias on some decent exchanges to make the token more accessible? And any marketing plans to actually create awareness about what you're building? Thanks, Tom. Keep up the good work. Tom says, yes, I do plan towards getting us on exchanges. I plan to use Fias itself to drive customer acquisition and awareness. A fairly large portion of our use of proceeds and funding will be for marketing and advertising. I'm also going to get Fias tools in place and then start consistently putting out information. That would be great. We have some words from Will Stewart here. Will Stewart says, AI building for AI monetization and benefit of AI. Anthropic recently unveiled Claude Cowork, a new general-purpose AI agent for workplace tasks that was largely written by Anthropic's own AI coding assistant, Claude Code, AI building AI for the monetization and benefit of AI. Cowork is designed to automate work such as drafting reports and organizing data, directly substituting for tasks that have traditionally required human effort. This marks a rapid step forward for agentic AI, in which AI systems construct the very tools that will function as their coworkers and offers a powerful glimpse of what is coming next. Yet there's an even more powerful and crucially more human-centric development highlighted in a recent post by Tom Anderson, CEO of Fias. Whereas Claude Cowork is a single product, Fias is a marketplace, an AI monetization marketplace built in collaboration with AI for humans. While Anthropic strategy keeps users operating within the Claude ecosystem, Fias is designed so that many different entities, including AI agents, and human experts can collaborate on complex problems and together build a modular AI economy with an emphasis on collaborate. Why this is important is because FIAS tackles the most pressing AI challenges today, how humans can monetize AI. FIAS focuses on humans earning money for humans by using, directing, and applying AI rather than being displaced and replaced by it. FIAS is architected so that Claude Cowork, type agent, a Google search, and a human can work side by side on problems no single product can solve alone. In short, FIAS keeps humans in the equation, enabling them to use and apply AI and profit from it instead of the other way around. I love people that can see the forest, regardless of how many trees are in the way. He's very smart. He'll probably be able to raise a ton for him. Ugh. 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 Oh gosh. Ugh. I'm sorry. Okay. Will is very excited about FIAS and its impact for dev. Tom interacts with him on almost daily basis, often multiple times a day. He thinks it's the most fundable thing that Tom's ever created. And he's going to use FIAS to recreate Glassblock. Also, Pudgy Penguins and Man City. That's bananas. We're excited to announce that we'll be collaborating with Man City on a premium collectible and merch release to bring Pengu to millions of Man City fans around the world. Working with Man City on this high-end collectible and merch drop will bring Pengu to the fans globally, while also introducing Man City to the wider Pudgy Penguins audience. We are ecstatic to bring Pengu to the world of football alongside Man City on January 17th. And the collectible and merch drop is intended for an 18-plus audience. Damn. So that was actually today. I don't know how they did with it, but yeah, that's, oh my God, that's so, like, this is what I want the cat to be. I mean, we have to go out and get the IP out there first, and I'm trying like heck on this comic. It's just there's only two people working on it. It's me and the artist. And be advised, it's 80+ pages. So also, what I should let you guys know, and I don't want to say this to like, you know, like pat myself on the back here or anything. But Tolkien has a book out called Lighting Up the Darkness. It is $32. It is $32, and well, it's 111 pages. So I'm letting y'all know that Tolkien has a book out that is, now you could get the digital read-only copy for $30, or you can get the limited edition comic for $32.98. Now there's 111 pages. Most comics are between 22 and 32 pages. So I understand instead of $8, it goes to, you know, that much, because it's like 4-ish times as much. Now the cat's only 3 times as much. Like we were only going to list this for $10, but you're getting like a graphic novel. We might have to charge a little more here, because now granted, this is Tolkien. I don't know anything about this book. They take part in the Battle of Somme, ultimately kills 450,000 people. Art of War will brand this relationship. Okay, it sounds, it's by a blaze. Like it sounds fine. Like it's probably, I hope it's good. I didn't get it, but so this is an example I'm going to point to where if we happen to charge $15, that people don't like snub their nose up at it, because again, they're charging double that for something that's only going to be like 20-ish pages more than ours. So again, just let me know what you think about it. Now, obviously, this isn't selling that well. This sold 14 of them. So it made a couple $100. But yeah, that's what I want to do for DeCat. I want to go in and have now to be partnered with a major soccer organization like that. That takes, I don't know how they got that. I mean, you're Pudgy Penguins. You could probably reach out to anyone that you want. You're a cute little organization. Like look at that. That is adorable. Like that is, everyone will want that. So we're hopefully going to get stuff like that with the cats. I'll keep you posted on what happens with my kitty. All right, moving on. I go over this. We had 12 new people make their first purchase this past week, and the active wallets were anywhere between 752 and 925 from the 6th to the 15th. Really want some more active wallets there. Any advice on how to get those, you let me know. Wikipedia turns 25. Bananas. U.S. government says it did not and will not sell any Bitcoin. Huzzah. OpenAI has begun rolling out ads in ChatGPT. Ugh. I mean, they have to. Like all of these AI, like the AI has such a backlash on it right now, and there's some reason for it, but you have like the very far left that seems to be anti any type of progress at all. And they say like, okay, well, listen, ChatGPT, it wastes a lot of water, AI, like, so I understand the environmental concerns because it does use a lot of water. Although a lot of times they say waste and destroy, where the water gets used, but it like evaporates and then comes back down, right? Like it's still, but most of the water is water that's going to be used anyway. Like it's using already like non-potable water, and then it just there is some use, and it's like, okay, well that's the environmentalists that are fairly uneducated in this, but some of their points do have merit. Then you have the artists. Instead of adapting to the needs and wants of the people, they just assume that art will never evolve, and this is art evolving, and I get art, that is a skill. Like I'm a writer. I don't use ChatGPT. I probably at some point, if the cat ever becomes like a super well-oiled machine and I'm cranking out like a comic like I can write like nobody's business. Where we get stuck is just the art takes a while, because again, the artist is doing everything like by hand, by pen, and like, we're not using AI. But if the demand ever becomes so great, yeah, we might have to get ideas like freaking, oh my God. Spoilers for Stranger Things. The last like episode where they had just like the behind the scenes documentary, they started filming and they had no idea how they were going to end it. That's how season 5 was in a nutshell. And in some of the behind the scenes things, you see in their tabs, like it's open, like they're asking ChatGPT, what would you do here? What the fudge? Like they would go onto Reddit and be like, okay, what are some of these best ideas? Like that is insane. Give the Duffer Brothers credit for what they did through the first 4 seasons. Hopefully they did it all on their own. But I recognize that as a writer, like they're like, I can write like nobody's business. At some point, yeah, the art might have to be assisted with ChatGPT. At some point, if they need to get like a bunch of different storylines out at once, I'm talking like 2 years down the line here, if it becomes such a big IP, yeah, I only have so many ideas in my head. Some I might have to get from ChatGPT. I don't know. I will 100% let you know if and when that happens. That'd be the proudest moment of my life, that I can't come up with ideas quick enough to write out, and I have to use like ChatGPT. But anyway, I recognize that that's happening. But a lot of the artists just like, instead of adapting to that and having AI help, they're just anti-AI. And I see it, like I run a Psyduck page on Facebook. It's a Psyduck fan page. I know, Pokemon's crazy, right? And there's like 10,000 people there. And the amount of people like, oh, I don't want this AI slop on my timeline. Like, okay, like you don't have to interact with it. Like you shouldn't allow this. And it's like, well, it's my fucking page. And there's like, well, I feel that it shouldn't be. I was like, okay, good thing your feelings aren't a fucking priority. Like I fucking hate that. Anyway, I had calmly explained that AI is a version of art. You know, like art is art, whether it was made by a human, made by a machine, made by whatever. And I'm not in the game of censoring people. I'm not in the game of censoring things. I don't believe in that. So I don't. So whoever wants to throw up any art that pertains to Psyduck or Pokemon in general, they're free to. And also, again, I love art. I love supporting artists. I think they have a gift, and that expression, and like there's some art that makes you feel like, oh my God, I can't explain it. Like words are not enough. And I feel like most people can't do that. They can't create something out of nothing. Maybe they can describe what they would want to do, but you know, like their motor skill, like again, I have zero artistic capability when it comes to actually drawing. But I have a bunch of ideas of what I would like to see and trying to describe it. And like, you know, you lose something from trying to describe it and have an artist, you know, do stuff. But I think it gives a lot of kids, or people in general, the ability to create where they just didn't have the tools before, and now they do. And it's just, I think a lot of artists are scared. So you have the environmentalists, you have the artists that are all anti-AI. There's another group too. I forget. I feel like I got off on a tangent there. Okay, you have people that don't really care one way or the other about what AI does or doesn't do, but a consequence of that, like a byproduct, is that their water and electricity bills that live next to these data centers, their water and electricity bills are going up. I was like, okay, of course they're going to be AI. You come in, you buy up all this land, forcing rents to go higher. Great if you own the property, not if you're trying to rent, because you have workers there and stuff. But then again, like they're using so much water and so much electricity, the cost around those data centers go high. So people that wouldn't really care one way or the other about AI, they're negatively affected by it. So everyone that lives next to a data center or a cooling station is anti-AI because they're receiving a lot of negative effects from that. Then you have Sam Altman that says like, hey, we're raising money as this nonprofit, turns it for profit. Literally ChatGPT like comes out without him telling the board. He does, like Elon Musk has a lawsuit against him. There's a class action lawsuit against him. Like, this is not looking good for ChatGPT. Like, this is not looking good for OpenAI. So of course you have Gemini, Claude, Grok, and OpenAI that are going to start rolling out ads because they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars in something that it's like, if anyone's ever played Advance Wars, there's this character called Andy who doesn't really have any weaknesses, but there's no real super strengths either. His strength is that he can heal his characters or his troops, and it's just, he's better than everyone else that has some weakness. AI is better. Like, ask AI about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be about, oh shit, oh gosh, it could be about Deadpool. It could be about water. It could be about protein, like whatever it is. If you are someone that specializes in Marvel or Deadpool specifically, you will know more about Marvel than ChatGPT will. If you specialize in Pokemon, you will know more. I will know more about Pokemon than ChatGPT probably for a long time. Like for the first 2 generations, probably forever, several years. If you have been in the gym for 20 years, you're probably going to know more about just aerobic and anaerobic exercises and just protein synthesis than ChatGPT. But ChatGPT will know more about everything else than you. anything that you specialize in, you'll know more than ChatGPT about, but it'll know more about everything else. Where I'm going with this is that it's good. It's not there yet, but again, it's been extremely expensive, and it's not the best yet. Like it'll fool boomers, like AI video, AI whatever. Like yeah, it's good enough where it will fool boomers and probably even some of Gen X now. And there's a couple of videos where if I didn't know, you can still kind of tell because the cadence is still off with the voice, but I'll hear something like, and it'll be from like Joe Rogan, or it'll be from like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I hear those guys talk a lot because I listen to a lot of their stuff, and I'll be like, wait, that's not them, and like I'll know it without even seeing it. And then sometimes I'll like look at something, like, okay, yeah, that's off. Even when it's like Sabrina Carpenter, like I don't know her like speaking voice, I don't know her like whatever, but I'll say like, okay, no, not, like the cadence is off. And again, I'm not saying like AI will get so much better even just in the next 6 months. But as of right now, I don't think all of these survive. Maybe they do in different ways, but yeah, ads, like they have to bring out ads because they are losing so much money in paying for this stuff. It's bananas. Anyway, let's move on a bit here. Oh yeah, this is Midnight Foundation, posting about Liquidity Finder, posting about Midnight Foundation and Bloomsbury money. Oh God, it feels so good. It feels very nice. What the heck is this? Moldova to legalize Bitcoin and crypto trading in 2026. Awesome. Good for them. Jamie Dimon, CEO of Chase, goes on national TV and says crypto is better than the current financial system. The experiment phase is over. This is the pivot of the century. Interesting. $500 invested 10 years ago with no leverage, just pure hodl. If you bought Ethereum, you'd have $1.4 million. Bitcoin, 91,000. Nvidia, 125,000. Tesla, 15,000. Apple, 5,300. Microsoft, 4,500. Alphabet, 4,400. Netflix, 4K. Amazon, 4K. And Meta, 3,300. Notice how crypto outperformed all of them. This is how patience works. And again, that's over 10 years. That's 10 years. I think crypto has its day this year. Maybe even some of it next year as well. But we'll have to see. Who the heck? Give me 1 second here. Nope. I don't want to. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec here. Definitely not doing that. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. We got Kyle Dupe saying Coinbase pushing back didn't surprise me. What did stand out was Armstrong saying the quiet part out loud, that banks don't want competition. If banks can lend, but crypto firms can't, that's not regulation, it's protection. Today, Senate meetings matter because this has stopped being crypto versus regulators. It's banks versus on-chain finance. And whoever wins decides who gets to offer financial products next cycle. See, this was written with ChatGPT. I went over yesterday that MEXC could potentially be not around by this time next year because they have announced that by February 28th, MEXC will no longer provide any services to anyone from India. Wild. Treasury Secretary Dissent says it's very unlikely the Supreme Court rules against Trump's tariffs. Cool. Extreme content says VeVe app. I'm new here, just installed. But bro, I'm sub now. Just found your channel. Oh, appreciate extreme content 7887. I see we got Africa there, and the trying to think. I think they're missing Madagascar down there. And then you see, is that supposed to be Antarctica? and then other stuff. Anyway, I dig your PFP and appreciate it. Come in and ask me anything. Very nice. How much? Millie Show posted yesterday. He says, I promise you, bombs are dropping in February. Look at January as a break for our wallets. He says we're going to have amazing drops in February. He promises. So we'll see. Eleanor Tourette says, Scoop, the White House is considering pulling its support for the crypto market structure bill entirely if Coinbase does not come back to the table with a yield agreement that satisfies the banks and gets everyone to a deal. A source close to the Trump administration tells me. The White House is said to be furious with Coinbase's unilateral action on Wednesday, which it apparently was not notified of in advance, calling it a rug pull against the White House on the rest of the industry. The White House does not believe that one company speaks for the entire industry, the source continued. This is President Trump's bill at the end of the day, not Brian Armstrong's, the source said. Okay. Josh Emmett is going to go live on March 14th on Paramount versus a Mr. Vallejos. I'm going to be on Josh because he's my friend. I love him. Okay, we got more stuff on fiat here. Give me one sec. For the other people's reference, Devi Rise asked this in a DM, and I told him to ask here so that everyone can see my thinking. In general, 3 months ago, I would have said yes, that the things we are planning are too ambitious. I've been running software teams for 30 years, and I have a feel for what can be done in what time frame. I've also had enough experience to know that trying to do too much will bite you. I did make that mistake several times early in my career. This is different, though. The world changed on November of 2025 with Opus 4.5. I don't think most people realize how dramatic and consequential the change was. There's been talk of AI taking people's jobs for years now, and I've been a big skeptic of that sentiment. Whenever I tried to use AI for development, it always missed the mark. It consistently wasn't quite there yet. But with Claude Code / Opus 4.5, a threshold was crossed where previous things that weren't possible now were. If development wasn't going so fast, I would not be trying to get as much in place, but it is, and I am. Things that took weeks take hours. Things that took months take days. We don't do more than we can do, but I feel like we can do an awful lot. This is also why I'm so optimistic about the dev ecosystem. Places where we have been stuck, I feel like we can get in order much more quickly now. Talking about AI taking people's jobs, I knew this from the moment I saw it. Me and like 3 other people. So the worry was that, hey, if you have 3 people that you're paying 50 grand each to, right? You know, but they're getting, you know, they're doing like $100,000 worth of work, but you're paying them 50 grand. With AI, you know, they'll be able to not do $100,000 worth of work. They'll be able to do $300,000 worth of work. So it's like, okay, well, if one person could then do the work of 3 people, like conventional wisdom would say like, okay, well, then you save money and you fire those other 2 people, because now one person can do the work, you know, of 3 with just AI, and you save that money and you use those resources and you reallocate them elsewhere, right? No, I because that's all people thought, and they didn't play those dominoes out. They didn't think like, okay, well, what happens if you keep those, you know, if let's say you keep spending at your current run rate and you keep those people. Now these 3 people are not doing $100,000 a month work each for the 50K that you're paying them. Now they're all doing $300,000 a month of work each for the work that you're paying them. And if you're in a scalable business, what do? Do you keep on keeping on, or do you step on the gas? And do you spend more because now you're making so much more? The profit margins grow. I always suspected that discerned investors or discerned businessmen would be able to like, no, you step on the gas. You get something that's profitable and you keep it going. And I was right. Nobody else saw it. Other people saw it, but they were not as vocal. Just patting myself on the back for that one there. Michael Thaler is set to report his earnings on February 5th, so you should expect volatility that day. There is some news from Hollywood that I don't know how to take this yet. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on Joe Rogan talking about how Netflix has changed filmmaking. A major consideration is dealing with distracted viewers. To keep them tuned in, you reiterate the plot 3 to 4 times in the dialogue because people are on their phones. Then in action films, you change the ordering of climactic fights. In traditional action films, you'd have 3 set pieces in every act, 1, 2, and 3. And each would ramp up or spend big money on the 3rd set piece. But streaming has to hook viewers within 5 minutes, so the incentive is to put a major battle or action sequence much earlier. Also, the directors have less incentive to make a film look great because, again, so many people watch on laptops and phones. They do say that streaming allows for more bets on risky projects since the theater economics are geared towards IP, sequels, and superheroes. Example, an independent film with a $25 million budget would spend $25 million on marketing. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. But since it splits box office with the theater, the film needs to make $100 million, half of which is $50 million, just to break even. They're realistic about the state of film and call it supply and demand issue. If the demand is for at-home viewing, e.g. Netflix 300 million plus subs, then filmmaking approach will change to feed the algo. When there's demand for theater, Damon will go and team up with Christopher Nolan to make The Odyssey. I'm going to write what I want to write. For the cat, if it works, great. Not, then, oh well. I'm successful in many other ways, right? I think it, the first few pages, I'm not gonna lie, they're not my idea. The first few pages are someone else's idea, but I went with it. My idea kind of starts with the frogs. You'll see, it's like in the first 5 pages. And then I mean, originally I wanted to show how DeCat became like the youngest leader of Cat World. And we might do a prequel book at that point to show some other stuff, but it gets you like, oh, who's this? What's that? What is, oh shit, what happened to this person? So it does get to that. It is really cool. There is action. There's a couple of really cool speeches. I'm very, very proud of a couple of the speeches, but the epic fight scene, like the epic battle in this is insane. And I would love to see this in like a movie. It would be so freaking cool. Tom Lee's Bitmine just bought $65.4 million worth of Ethereum and now hold Ethereum worth $13.9 billion hairs. Oh my God. That is insane. My friends. Yeah, OpenAI is now projecting much higher cash burn due to cloud computing and data center related expenses. I knew it. All right. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Daffy. Bye-bye, Daffy. We love you.